Here we are having fun again. It's just laughing before we get on the camera. So.
Well, it's the only time we can laugh.
We're having a good time down here. Where are we at?
We're at the Einstein Brothers Bagels here on, is it Fowler?
On Fowler and 50th. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
This morning I was able to get me a Asiago bagel, onion and chive smear. It was good. It was different, and I liked it, and worth getting again.
Right. I had the fruit coffee again. So I had the caramel macchiato, and I as I did last week, cookie this again. So I'm kind of starting my morning with a dessert, and that's just the way I'm going lately.
I'm gonna go downhill from there.
Exactly.
Listen, and I got me a coffee as well. I got me a dark roast coffee, which was nice. This restaurant reminds me of some of the other fast food restaurants, but the bagel aspect is nice. Right. You know, I like it. So I've enjoyed being here today.
And these guys open earlier than any other place we've come to. Besides the 24-hour places, but they're open at 5:30, and it's been steady customers since we got. So if you were in here early, 30 minutes early.
Well, there were people coming in and out, and at first I thought they were just getting ready, but then all of a sudden I saw all these people coming in, and so they were doing more than getting ready. They were ready.
Yeah. And we can see the corner. We're looking over just across the street is USF campus. So we're right on the corner of the campus. So maybe that's a reason for all the traffic, foot traffic.
But I recommend them. They're nice. The people here are very efficient. They serve you very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's always a nice thing, not to have to wait.
Exactly.
So and everything. So
what have we been talking about?
Well, we've been talking about something that's a little bit different. We've been talking about baptism of all things this morning.
Yeah.
You know, and we were kind of musing over the idea of why were people in the first century baptized so quickly after they believed the gospel.
It is peculiar compared to our, you see people's traditions in today's world. We see people that are wait for a certain event. They kind of plan for it. So, okay, well, baptisms are going to be on such and such date, or there's going to be a big group go down here and be baptized at some planned date in the future. But what do we see in the book of Acts?
In the book of Acts, we see on the very first day when the church was planted. It says that those who received the word were baptized. I mean, they did not delay baptism, and that begs the question as to why did they not wait?
Right.
Why do they rush into doing this?
Right. Yeah. And we don't have to turn all the passages, but we do know that even in that same hour that they believed, once there was belief, right? Once that happened, then there was an immediacy to them going out and being baptized and to become, saved. That was part of their salvation. It wasn't an afterthought that they were saved, and then sometime later this baptism happened. It was integral with all that. So that was very.
And this begs another question that we won't have a chance to necessarily follow through today.
Maybe later.
But why? Why is it different today?
Right.
If that's what they did in the first century, why don't we do it?
How do we deviate? Where do we deviate from that? And I think you and I agree on the idea that in the first century, that's the pattern that we want to follow. We want to follow what the church was doing at that time, and that's important today too. It's kind of like what we talk about getting back to basics. It's very similar to that reasoning, because you start to do this, add this tradition on, and add that tradition on, and add this somebody thinks so on there, and pretty soon you're off and you're in a whole different realm than what you begin with. And is that, when it comes to biblical authority, is that a good place to be?
Well, I don't think so.
Right, I agree. I agree with you.
Well, if you have a different point of view and you want to share it with us, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to talk about that.
Exactly, yeah. And you can make a note in the comments. Just, put some note in the comments. We'd be glad to talk about it, and something we can talk about later on if you'd like to have, we could have a discussion here or in person or privately, however you'd like to do that.
We can even meet here at the Bagel shop.
Exactly, or any of the spots we're going to go to next. So remember, that's another thing you got to tell us about. Any places you like. I saw a place on the way in. I'll talk about it maybe next week.
I'm excited.
Of other places we're finding, and we especially like local places. So if you got a local spot in Tampa that you think is your favorite, some folks have been sending us way downtown, and we kind of like where we are right here in the Temple Terrace, East Tampa area. So we are kind of staying there until we have to branch out.
Yeah, we may go there eventually, but right now we'd like to get all the local dives
Exactly.
and to enjoy that.
That's right. Okay. Thank you all for joining us today, and hope you have a good rest of your year, and we will see you again next week. All right.
God bless. Bye-bye.